Hey guys, it's Dan Smith from Rush Airsoft. I just figured I'd do a short review of the Cyma slash Cyma mp5, whatever you want to call it. I think everybody from every different state calls it something else. Anyway, it's I think I paid a $189 on TrinityAirsoft.com. It's the sd6, which is like the suppressed version, which I thought was pretty cool. It's a quick release silencer setup, which makes it really short for CQB. This is a Saab 1, I think is what it's called, magazine. Changes the look completely. I bought that separate. This is what came with it. It's a 260 round Cyma high cap magazine. It feeds really good to be a stock magazine, actually. Cyma isn't really a big airsoft company. Not many people take them serious, but I've had about at least 15 airsoft guns, and we've taken them apart. Between me and the few other people on Rush have taken them completely apart, and I don't see any difference. Like, I've taken this apart brand new, and another one that I owned, it was basically the same system, but it was or same gun, but it was a rail system instead. And I mean, bone stock. It's the version 2 reinforced gearbox. It has the it just has the stock metal gears. It does no torque or high speed or anything like that. But it was greased so good. We've had a couple guns that we've taken apart that were completely dry, and this gun for $189 was greased, like ready to go. You don't really have to touch it. There were a couple screws on the outside of the gearbox that needed to be tightened, but I mean, that's nothing. That's external. You don't even have to take it apart. The motor that came in this gun, that's the only complaint I have with it so far. The motor in the gun is pretty slow. I went ahead and put a turbo motor in it, and I'm using a 7.4 LiPo. I've been using 11.1 on most of my guns, but been using a 7.4 on this to kind of calm it down a little bit until I put some high-speed gears and a few other things in here. Because I'm just going to convert this to CQB gun. For it to be a submachine gun, I think the feet per second's a little too high. I've played a few field games with it, and honestly, it has around the same feet per second as some of the snipers that I was playing with. It's like around 420 feet per second at chronos with 20 gram BBs, which is way too high for a submachine gun in my opinion. Especially once you take this off. I mean, look how small it is. It's perfect for CQB, but you won't be able to use it. But some places allow semi-auto. If you're around 400, they'll let you get away with it, but most places are strict and allow 350 and below regardless. So that's really the only complaints. The feet per second's too high. There's many things you can do about that though, so that's not a big deal. The hop up in it works really good, bone stock. Externally everything's great except the sight. The sight on these MP5s, I had an Echo 1, did the same thing. They're really loose. You actually have to take, there's a little pin. By the way, these are the easiest gun to field strip there is. I don't care what anybody says. I mean, you can completely take it down to the gearbox in a matter of seconds. You just slide the pin out in the back, the stock slides off, you slide this pin out, the whole thing slides out. I mean, it's unbelievably easy to work on. But after you do that, there's a little Phillips head screw underneath, and you just tighten that up, and you won't have that problem anymore. Obviously, I waited too long in the middle of a game last weekend and lost it. But so far, this gun, I've played a good few games with it, and I'm really impressed with it. I had a KWA KM4 that I just had external upgrades. It was stock internally, and so far I'm just as happy with this gun, if not happier, because I haven't had any problems with this, which the KWA, I definitely had problems with it. Only thing I can say about this gun is it is hard to get to the battery compartment. When you first get it, I see other people, I've seen like 1 or 2 other reviews on this gun, and they act like you have to push these in on each side. There's a little pin, like a little clip right here, but you don't push. It's not a button. You actually have to pry it open, and that's the only problem I have with this gun is these are really tight when you first get it. They do wear out to where you don't have to use a screwdriver to get to your battery, but right now it's still pretty tight, so I've got to. But after you pop them 2 little tabs off, you can slide this straight out, and there's your battery compartment. I've already converted mine to Dean's. I'll go ahead and fire a round or two so you can. This is bone stock other than a motor. That's all I've done to it. Turbo motor, converted it to Dean's. This is an 11.1 battery hooked up to it. I'm not running 11.1 until I'm actually playing until I upgrade gears, which I've already ordered, some 13-to-1 ratio. But here it is. There it is, completely stock, which is a really awesome rate of fire, I think. I don't dry fire it much. That was just to let you guys hear the rate of fire. Like I said, the stock motor, it wasn't really impressive, but it definitely did fine. That was an 11.1. The 7.4, it's still pretty good rate of fire, surprisingly, with just a turbo motor. Like I said, so far I'm really happy with the gun. I'll keep playing with it. I'm supposed to go to an event next weekend. We'll see how it holds up. But another thing, I did disable blowback. All it is on your bolt. It just has a little nub that rides on your piston, and it basically what it does is it makes your piston pull back 2 springs, and that's how it does it. It actually pulls that back every shot on your piston. It rides on your piston, which I think is a terrible idea. I went ahead and actually all I did was take a grinding wheel to the nub, grinded it down smooth to where it does not go into the gearbox anymore. It just sits flush up against it to where the blowback's not there. And the only reason is, for one, I don't like the fact that it rides on the piston, and 2, it absolutely does kill your battery faster. If you have a 9.6 1600 milliamp or higher, you should be alright, but a stock 8.4, it'll eat the battery alive with the blowback. Good thing about it is easy to disable if you don't like it. So far all I've done to it externally is just my 1-point sling quick release adapter. That's it. Everything else is stock. I guess that about sums it up. Other than, I mean, a mag release is real tight. Magazines fit in there tight. There's no wobble or anything like that, which I thought was really good. My Echo one had a little bit more wobble than I liked. So far I haven't had to tear this thing apart and work on it, which I'm really happy with so far. We'll see. It is ambidextrous, both sides, which I think is really cool. I'm right-handed, but I still think it's really cool for left-handed people. Yeah, I guess that's it. Thanks for watching.